How's it going, you guys? Welcome back to Unorthodox Savings. Today I am talking about Palantir, and if you saw by the title, no, this is not clickbait. I really do believe that this stock can make you be retired, but before I get into anything more, I just want to let you guys know this is not financial advice. This is what I'm doing personally, and for full disclosure, I do have a large position in this stock. I will try my best to be unbiased as I explain what the stock is, when I think the stock will make you money, and where I see it going in the future. I will try to bookmark down below different sections just to save you guys time. And as always, one last plug, I never try to sell anything on this channel. I'll never have a course, anything like that. I do have a Discord down below where we talk about stocks, crypto, and real estate, and this is a free community where everybody bounces ideas off each other. So if that sounds interesting, feel free to join. Without wasting any more time, let's get right into it. First, what is Palantir? Palantir is a company that specializes in deep data analysis. What does that mean? It means, for example, that to get detailed info on someone, all you need is a name, a license plate number, and Palantir does the rest. It performs a deep search of all criminal, financial, medical, communication, and clandestine agency records on the target. The company's tech helped locate Osama bin Laden back in 2011 and is being used to trace COVID-19 infections. It also tracks medical supply chains and even predicts outbreaks in pandemic hot zones such as Ebola and other viruses like that. You could think of the company as a search engine for deep analysis of petabytes or millions of gigabytes, is what that means, of data. Their business model consists of three products: Gotham, Metropolis, and Foundry. Gotham is used of counter-terrorist analysis in the United States intelligence community, the USIC, and United States Department of Defense, the DoD. Metropolis is used by hedge funds, banks, and financial services firms, while Foundry is used by commercial clients like Merck, Airbus, and Fiat Chrysler. Palantir's business model has three phases: acquire, expand, and scale. To recap on all that means, Palantir is literally just a database for anything about anybody. If you're trying to track them, get a hold of certain information, and it is a huge database. I'm going to go ahead and refer this to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Even though it's not closely related to social media apps, I consider things like this as a social media government where they can track, control, and do certain things. If government agencies are going to be working with this company, that means that constant money is going to get put into this company and they're going to have constant deals with them, which means constant revenue for this specific stock. Now, some of you may be thinking in a conspiracy mind space where you might be thinking, well, I don't like that this company's tracking people and that they're getting a hold of all this information. What if they abuse their powers? On the bright side, this company is very open on what they do when they track people, how they use the technology for it, and also what they are doing financially and where they're putting their money, which helps put your mind at ease when looking at this company, then make sure it's not doing anything shady and working with any foreign powers that we may not be familiar with. That being said, do I think Palantir is a good investment? And the short answer is yes, and I'll go ahead and explain why. I think in the future, especially as more things roll out, more political issues, more different problems with people, and this is going to sound extreme, and trust me, hear me out. You're not going to see the whole country versus country type of warfare or any type of conflict like that. In fact, you'll probably see more pocketed incidences where you're going to want to track people down. And this is also going to be used for money laundering. So when people are doing things illegal in the crypto space and stock space, even though it's going to be affecting certain investors like our own, you're going to see people get busted for this, and this is going to be used through Palantir. And now many of you are probably watching this video because you've seen it being posted on Wall Street Bets and other forums like that where it's been trending every single day, which I think is really good because it's boosted my position a lot. I found this company before it started trending just because I like the business model they have so far, but because of this is really easy to swing trade. And that leads me into the financials of this company and what I think you can do as a trader. I'm a long-term investor in this company. I plan on buying shares on every single dip and holding for 3 to 5 years, and even longer than that depending on how this company really turns out, because like the title of this video, I really do think this company can retire you. I think it's going to be worth a fortune by 2025. But if you're a short-term trader, there's actually a really good way to swing trade this stock, which is basically just playing on the news of this company and just buying and selling shares. And to prove that, if you go by the 3-month chart, it's only up by 8%, which is still good, don't get me wrong, but you can see a constant peak and valley of the stock throughout the days and weeks, and just seeing where it's been going. In the past year alone, it's already up 186%, where you can basically see super highs and super lows of selling and buying, and it's been almost pretty stagnant. The biggest run-up we've had was actually right after the mini recession we had when COVID hit, but after that, it's kind of been fairly stagnant with a 52-week high of $45. The current price I'm making this video at is $28.68, with it being up 15% in the past month. Before that, it was all the way down to around $24, where it actually hovered for a pretty long time. The volume on the stock is very high and has been much higher than the past previous weeks, around 60 million, and the average volume is around 66 million, which is actually more in the negative trend because you were seeing a slight sell-off as a $56 billion market cap. And a stock like this and a company with this kind of model, you're not going to see a dividend like this, and if you ever do, it's going to be very small. So if you're a dividend investor, this is probably not the company you're going to be investing in. But if you're a growth investor, a value investor, or if you like selling call options on this, this is an extremely easy company to trade, just because it's very basic on what they do with the news. Their press team is very on point, so they come out with news very frequent, especially on their Twitter page, Facebook page, and their own website, which I'll leave down below in case you guys want to check that out. My final price prediction for this stock, and I'll give you a short-term and a long-term position of where I think this is going to go. In the short term, which is what I think is going to happen in the next 6 months, I see the stock hovering around $35 to $40 a share, nearing the all-time highs. There is a lot of just outside news going on with this like political problems and foreign problems in the stock markets where people are getting weary again. So I see a lot of this like fluctuation in the price between where it's at now and $35 a share. So within the next 6 months, I would expect it to be hovering at least close to $40 a share. That's my personal prediction. In the long term, which is anything past a year, because I base it on my taxes, and if anything past a year, I would probably see this hovering around $45 if it's closer to the year marker. Anything past a year, which I would say around 2025, further in the future, I see this nearing around $100 to $150 in value. That's just my personal prediction of what I think this can do, because there's many ways to incentivize this company's business model, which will make it create more money, and with advertising becoming more relevant on different social media platforms, I see this becoming very accessible to the daily consumer on a more basic scale. That's all I have for this video as of now. I will do more updates on the stock actually frequently, because this stock comes out with news almost every single week. So I'm gonna try to put out a video on the stock at least once or twice a month, just to keep you guys updated on where I think this is gonna go. And I will go into more depth on a technical analysis standpoint and just do a whole overview on that in my next video. So if it interests you, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you guys very much for your support. I really do appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next time.